What if the mechanic you trust with your car is quietly counting on you to stay ignorant? Not because they're a bad person, but because your ignorance is worth thousands of dollars to them every single year. Today, we are exposing 10 car maintenance secrets the repair industry would prefer stayed buried. Some will save you hundreds of dollars starting this week. Others could be the difference between a routine visit and a repair bill that completely empties your savings. Stay until the end, because number 7 has cost everyday drivers over $3,000 in repairs that were 100% unnecessary. Introduction. Every year, American drivers spend over $200 billion on vehicle maintenance and repairs. Industry analysts estimate that 20 to 30% of that money goes towards services performed too early, priced beyond reason, or simply not needed at all. Most technicians are genuinely skilled professionals, but the business model surrounding them does not always have your best interests at the center. Section 1. The oil change interval lie. Let's start with the oldest and most expensive myth in automotive maintenance history. For decades, the rule was simple. Change your oil every 3,000 miles. You would see it on reminder stickers and hear it from every service advisor in the country. It felt like law. But modern vehicles running full synthetic oil are engineered to safely go 7,000 to 10,000 miles between changes. Many manufacturers specify 10,000 to 15,000 miles in their official documentation. The 3,000-mile rule was built for older engines and conventional oil. It stopped being accurate for most vehicles over a decade ago. If you are paying $80 to $120 per change at 3,000-mile intervals, you could be spending $200 to $400 more per year than your vehicle actually needs. Open your owner's manual. Follow the manufacturer's interval, not the sticker on your windshield. Section 2. The air filter upsell trap. Most drivers think this recommendation is harmless, until they realize they have been overpaying for the same simple job for years. The technician walks out holding your air filter like evidence at a crime scene. Before you can ask a single question, you are told it needs immediate replacement, or your engine will suffer. The shop charges $50 to $120. That same filter costs $15 to $30 at any auto parts store. The housing requires no tools to open. You swap the filter in under 5 minutes with no skill required. Air filters do matter. A clogged filter strains your mass airflow sensor, costing $250 to $450 to fix. But replacement is only needed every 15,000 to 30,000 miles. Buy it yourself. Install it yourself. Keep the markup every single time. Section 3. The coolant flush you don't need yet. This is where upsells start getting more expensive and the urgency starts sounding more alarming. The pitch is always the same. Your coolant is dangerously degraded. Flush it now or risk overheating damage worth thousands. And that pitch is not entirely wrong. It is just almost always premature. Modern long-life coolant is engineered to last 50,000 to 150,000 miles. Many manufacturers schedule service at 5-year intervals. If a shop recommends a flush every 30,000 miles on a vehicle with extended life coolant, you are being sold a service the system does not need yet. A flush runs $100 to $250. Test strips at any auto parts store. Check your actual coolant condition for a few dollars. Let chemistry tell you when to change it, not a service advisor working on commission. Section 4. The fuel injector service markup. Fuel injector cleaning addresses a real problem. Carbon deposits build up inside injectors over time, causing rough idle, misfires, and eventually catalytic converter damage. Converter replacement starts at $800 and on many trucks pushes past $3,500. But a quality fuel system cleaner containing polyethyramine costs $10 to $25 at any auto parts store. You pour it into your tank before filling up. It runs through your entire fuel system as you drive. Shops charge $50 to $150 for a machine-based version doing essentially the same job. For regular maintenance, a quality additive, every 10,000 to 15,000 miles handles it for most drivers without any shop visit at all. Section 5. The tire rotation frequency. Game rotation is a legitimate service that ensures even tire wear. A full set of tires runs $400 to $900 on a standard vehicle, but the correct interval is every 5,000 to 7,500 miles. Many shops push rotation at every oil change. The individual overcharge looks small, but combined with every other inflated service, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Check your owner's manual for the correct interval, nothing else. Section 6. Brake fluid, the warning nobody gives you. Most people never hear this warning until they are already holding a repair quote they were not expecting. Brake fluid is hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture from the air over time. As water content builds up in your brake lines, the boiling point of the fluid drops. Under hard braking, contaminated fluid can vaporize inside the lines. Gas compresses, but hydraulic fluid does not. When brake fluid vaporizes, pedal pressure disappears. In extreme cases, braking force is lost entirely while the vehicle is moving. No warning light, no countdown. Most manufacturers recommend replacement every 2 years or 30,000 miles. A flush runs $70 to $150 and is completely worth it on schedule, but ignored long-term contaminated fluid corrodes calipers from the inside. Caliper replacement runs $400 to $900 per axle. Add rotors and pads, and you are looking at $1,200 to over $2,000. Section 7. The spark plug myth costing drivers thousands. This one has directly cost everyday drivers over $3,000 in repairs that were never necessary. The story follows the same pattern almost every single time. A driver comes in for rough idle. The shop blames the spark plugs. $200 to $400 later, the problem returns. More diagnosis, more money. Eventually, the real cause, an ignition coil, a vacuum leak, or a failing oxygen sensor, finally gets found and fixed. The plugs were not wrong. They were just not the actual answer. Most vehicles built in the last 15 years came with factory iridium or platinum plugs engineered to last 60,000 to 100,000 miles. If a shop recommends replacement at 30,000 miles on a vehicle with factory iridium plugs, that is a serious red flag. Genuinely worn plugs destroy your catalytic converter over time. Replacement starts at $800 and commonly reaches $2,500. Know your plug type before authorizing any plug work. Section 8. The transmission fluid cover-up. This is one of the most expensive pieces of misinformation the industry has ever produced. And the damage from it is still arriving at repair shops today. In the late 1990s, several major automakers began labeling automatic transmission fluid as a lifetime fill. No service required. Dealers repeated this confidently for years. The transmissions that followed that guidance failed, in large numbers, at enormous cost. No fluid is permanent. As transmission fluid degrades, it loses the ability to protect clutch packs and lubricate precision components. When protection fails, internal damage follows fast and silently. A transmission rebuild starts at $1,500 and commonly reaches $4,000 to $5,000. On trucks and luxury vehicles, replacements push $8,000 to $10,000. Most independent engineers recommend changing fluid every 30,000 to 60,000 miles. If your mileage is within range, change the fluid now. The service cost is nothing compared to what follows if you don't. Section 9. The cabin air filter markup. Would you pay $90 for something you could do yourself in 2 minutes for $15? The cabin air filter cleans air flowing through your heating and cooling system. The filter costs $12 to $25 at any auto parts store. On most vehicles, it sits behind the glove box. Open a panel, swap it, close the panel. 2 minutes, no tools. Shops charge $50 to $120. The markup is entirely labor on a job requiring no skill. Do it yourself every 15,000 to 25,000 miles. Section 10. The battery warning. Your dashboard hides. Here is what almost nobody tells you about a failing battery. The real damage it causes often has nothing to do with the car failing to start. A battery in early failure still starts the car, but sends fluctuating voltage through every electrical system simultaneously. Modern vehicles rely on sensitive control modules for engine management, transmission behavior, and safety systems. When a degrading battery delivers uneven power, it triggers false fault codes, corrupts calibration data, and causes failures that appear completely unrelated to the battery on the surface. Drivers pay $200 to $500 in diagnostic labor, chasing electrical problems that ultimately trace back to a weak battery nobody thought to test first. Engine control module replacement starts at $500 and exceeds $2,000 on some vehicles. Batteries last 3 to 5 years. Free load testing at most auto parts chains takes 5 minutes. If your battery is approaching 4 years old, test it now. None of these 12 points required a mechanical degree. Everyone comes down to one principle. Knowing what your vehicle actually needs is the most powerful financial protection you have as a driver. The 3,000-mile oil change myth costs American drivers enormous sums every single year. Unnecessary flushes, inflated rotation schedules, overpriced filter replacements, and padded dealer menus drain accounts one visit at a time. And on the serious end, ignoring your serpentine belt, brake fluid, battery, and transmission fluid is not just a financial risk, it is a safety risk. The difference between a $200 preventive service and a $4,000 emergency repair comes down to awareness and timing. Know your vehicle, trust the manual, and never let anyone profit from what you don't know. If this video gave you even one thing you did not know before, hit the like button right now. Drop a comment telling us which tip surprised you most. We read every comment. Subscribe and turn on notifications. We release content like this every week. The information is free, the savings are real. See you in the next one.